Hello everyone, I am Jyoti Zavre. In this video, I am going to discuss about solubility of drugs. The contents of topics are solubility expression, mechanism of solute-solvent interactions, ideal solubility parameters, solvation and association, factors affecting on solubility of drugs, solubility of gas in liquids, solubility of liquid in liquids, Raoult's law and real solution, partially miscible liquids, critical solution temperature and its application in pharmacy, distribution law or nurse distribution law, its limitation and applications, and last one is the diffusion principles in biological systems. Let us see the one by one. Then solubility means the concentration of solute or substance in a saturated solution at a certain temperature. It means that it is a spontaneous interaction between the two or more substances and that will form a homogeneous molecular dispersion. These are the some terms or definitions which are related to the solubility. First one is the solute. Solute is a component which is dissolved in a solvent dissolve into the solvent. Solvent is a component in which solute will be the dissolved. In this case, the amount of solvent will be the more as compared to the solute. Then solution is a system in which solute and solvent both are miscible to each other and form a homogeneous molecular dispersion. This diagram shows the difference between the solute, solvent and solution. This is an example. Coffee is the example of solute. Milk is the example of solvent. Whenever we add this solute or coffee into the milk, they will form a solution. That is a liquid coffee. Then what is mean by, let us see the what is mean by saturated solution, unsaturated solution, supersaturated solution and intrinsic or absolute solubility. Saturated solution means solution containing the excess amount of powdered drug into the solvent and which is stirred for the several hours until the equilibrium has been achieved. Unsaturated solution means which containing the less concentration of solute as compared to the saturated solution. Supersaturated solution means which containing the more concentration of solute as compared to the saturated solution. Intrinsic or absolute solubility means the maximum amount of solute dissolved in a given solvent under standard condition of pH, temperature and pressure. These are the three test tubes. These are the three test tubes which shows the difference between the unsaturated, saturated and supersaturated solution. In first test tube, so concentration of solute is less as compared to the saturated solution, and in third test tube concentration of solute is more as compared to the saturated solution. Getting this point, it may unsaturated solution means which containing the less concentration of solute as compared to the saturated solution, and supersaturated solution means the which containing the more concentration of solute as compared to the saturated solution. These three test tubes indicating or shows the difference between the unsaturated solution, saturated solution and supersaturated solution, and concentration of solute will be the in a increasing order. Then next point is the solubility expression. These are the some descriptive terms, and this tabular form or table shows the solubility expression. Let us see the one by one. It means that solubility expression means the how much part of solvent is required to dissolve the one part of solute. Okay, very soluble means the solvent required less than the 1 to dissolve the one part of solute. Freely soluble means solvent is required from 1 to 10 parts to dissolve the one part of solute. Soluble means the solvent is required from 10 to 30 parts to dissolve the one part of solute. Sparingly soluble means solvent is required from 30 to 100 parts to dissolve the one part of solute. Slightly soluble means solvent is required from 100 to 1000 parts to dissolve the one part of solute. And very slightly soluble means solvent is required from 1000 to 10,000 to dissolve the one part of solute. And last one is the practically insoluble means solvent is required from more than 10,000 parts to dissolve the one part of solute. According to this table, it was concluded that the very solubles, freely soluble and soluble, these types of terms require the less amount of solvent to dissolve the one part of solute, and require the less amount of solute to dissolve the one part of solute as compared to the slightly soluble, very slightly soluble and sparingly soluble. Then these are the some terms which are related to the solubility expression. Molarity means the gram molecular weight of solute dissolved in a 1 liter of solvent or solution. Molality means the moles of solute in a dissolved in a 100 gram of solvent. Normality means the gram equivalent weights of solute dissolved in a 1 liter of solvent or solution. Mole fraction means it is a ratio of moles of solute to the total moles of solute plus solvent, means it is a ratio of moles of solute to the total moles of solution. Percent by weight means the weight of solute dissolved in a 100 gram of solution. Percent by volume means the ml of solute dissolved in a 100 ml of solution. Percent weight in volume means the gram of solute dissolved in a 100 ml of solution. Then this is a next point is the BCS classification system. In BCS classification system means the biopharmaceutical classification system. There are 4 classes, that is a class 1, class 2, class 3 and class 4. Let us see the one by one. The drugs comes under the class 1, which shows the high solubility and high permeability. Due to that reason, there is no issue related to the absorption, means drug shows the good absorption properties. For example, diltiazem, propranolol. Then class 2 means the drugs comes under this class having a low solubility and high permeability. There is a variation between the solubility and permeability. Due to that reason, this drug shows the variable in absorption. For example, nifedipine, naproxen. Then drugs comes under the class 3, which having a high solubility and low permeability. Again, there is a variable between the solubility and permeability. Due to that reasons, drug shows the variable or fluctuation in absorption. For example, metformin, cimetidine. And last one is the class 4. Class 4 having a low solubility and low permeability. Due to low solubility and low permeability, these types of drugs shows the poor absorption. For example, Taxol, furosemide. Okay, next point is the mechanism of solute solvent interaction. Mechanism of solute solvent interaction. The energy is formed during the attraction between the solute and solvent, and this mechanism of solute solvent interaction involve the three types of mechanism. First one is the solute particle must be separated, second solvent particle must be separated, and third one is a strong interaction between the solute and solvent. Let us see the one by one. Okay, this diagram showing the three mechanism, that is a solute particle must be separated, solvent particle must be separate, and third one is that there is a strong interaction between the solute and solvent. Okay, whenever we add the solute into the liquid, that time the solute particle must be separate. Okay, this first diagram shows the solute particles must be separate. Whenever we add the solute into the liquid, that time solute particles must be separated from the bulk form. This is a bulk form. Okay, and whenever we add this solute particle into the liquid, that time solute particle must be separate from the bulk form, or solute means molecules of solids break from the bulk. Okay, then next mechanism is the separation of solvent molecules, means solvent molecules must be separate. While for example, sodium chloride dissolve in water. For example, sodium chloride dissolve in water. Whenever we add the sodium chloride into the water, that time first Na plus and Cl minus ions must be separated from the bulk form. Okay, see that Na plus and Cl minus ion must be separated from bulk form. Okay, and that time again solvent particle must be separated, and while separating the solvent particles, their holes, or while separating the solvent particles, space or holes are available for the accumulation or adsorption of solute particles. See, solute particles, and these solvent ions, which is accumulate or adsorb according to their charges. It means in this example, Na plus ions is attracted or accumulate towards the OH minus ions, and Cl minus ions, which are accumulate or adsorption towards the H plus, adsorption into the H plus ions. Okay, again this mechanism of solute solvent interaction involves the polar, non-polar and semi-polar. Okay, polar solute, which is a dissolve in only polar solvent, it having a high dielectric constant, H bond formation and dipole interaction. For example, water and ethanol. Water is dissolved or mixed in all proportion with the ethanol. Then non-polar which is non-polar solvent, which is a dissolve in only non-polar solvent and which having a low dielectric constant. For example, fat, oils, alkaloids, benzenes and CCl4. Then last one is the semipolar solvents, which is a act as a intermediate between the polar and non-polar solvent, and which are used to increase the solubility of polar and non-polar solvent. For example, acetone increases the solubility of ether in water. Then next point is the ideal solubility parameter. In ideal solubility parameter, we see the three definitions or three types of terms, that is a Hildebrand solubility parameter, cohesive energy density, and heat of vaporization. Let us see the one by one. Hildebrand solubility parameter. It is a numerical value that indicates the relative solvency behavior of a specific solvent. Cohesive energy density. Again, it is a numerical value that indicate the energy of vaporization in calories per cubic centimeter, and formula for cohesive energy density is C is equal to delta H minus RT divided by Vm. Here C is the cohesive energy density, delta is H is the heat of vaporization, R is the gas constant, and T is the temperature, Vm is the molar volume. Then SI unit of Hildebrand solubility parameters are expressed in megapascals. That is a 1 megapascals is equal to 1 into 10 raised to 6 pascals. Okay. And this cohesive energy density indicate the correlation between the vaporization and van der Waals forces. Okay, vaporization and cohesive energy density is indicate the correlation between the vaporization and van der Waals forces, which translate the vaporization and solubility. And this cohesive energy density the same intermolecular force of attraction is required to increase the solubility of two materials. Okay, getting point means Hildebrand solubility parameters. Then last point is the heat of vaporization. Heat of vaporization means when liquid is heated to its boiling point. When liquid is heated to its boiling point, that means energy or heat is added to the liquid. While adding the energy or heat, the temperature of liquid will be the increases. And once the liquid reaches to its boiling point, the further addition of heat or energy does not causes the further increase in temperature. It means that the further added entire energy is used to separate the molecules of liquid and boil them away into the gas. And the heat of vaporization means energy is required to vaporize the liquid. That process is called as a heat of vaporization. For example, water. When water is heated and after getting its boiling point, the boiling point of water, when water is heated to its boiling point and after getting the boiling point of water, further added heat or energy is used to separate or break down of this bond. Getting my point? Means water is heated to its boiling point, and after getting the boiling point of water, further added energy is utilized for the breakdown of this bond, and after breaking of this bond, the molecules which is converted into the gas, that is a H2 gas, this H2 gas. Okay, and this process is called as a vaporization. Okay, in this video we have discussed about the some definitions related to the solubility, solute solvent interactions, and solubility expressions and ideal solubility parameters. Okay, thank you.